quicker than a traditional 4-year college, and then you can go ahead and start your career and start earning, you know.
Especially like Kilo was saying, you can take different routes to go to find your end goal.
Right.
So like he's saying, college. He's not saying that college is not for everyone.
Exactly.
Right.
It's different routes.
It's different routes to go. Exactly.
And there's different avenues that we can go.
That's
exactly,
right.
Mike.
That's all he's saying.
That's all he's
totally
saying.
Understand. Sometimes it's a say less thing.
Right.
You know, sometimes people understand it differently.
Right. Exactly. And so we just wanted to clarify that because we support education.
Yeah, no doubt.
All around.
It's people like us, you know what I'm saying, that didn't play basketball or didn't have maybe the grades or nothing. I just want to work, you know what I'm saying? It's regular people like that every day. I'm like that person.
Yep.
I want the one to go to college or any of that.
Exactly.
I did that for a plus and a struggle moment. My college went for God, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to find myself.
Right.
He led me to a higher education.
That's
I
it.
still
That's
believed in it.
That's it. And I'm glad that you said that, because one thing that I pride myself on with my school is I am a firm believer in our Lord Jesus Christ. And so with my students, and all of my students will tell you this, I pray over them. I pray before we do any class, before we take any exam, before we do anything, because I believe in acknowledging him first.
Right.
Because that's what he instructed us to do. He said to put him first, and everything else would be added unto us.
That's fact.
And so even if I've had students come through my school that may not have passed the exam, but they'll email me, they'll call me, and they'll say, Ms. Williams, I may not have passed my exam, but your school changed my life. Your school
got what they needed.
Brought me closer to God. Your school helped me during this trying time because of, you know, I think of my school, of course I teach medical coding, but it's also a ministry for me. It's also a ministry for me because it's a way for me to reach those that God have sent. He has sent them to my school. I believe that. That's my prayer. And so I know that every student that walked through my door is there for a purpose. You know, of course, to learn medical coding, but also to hear something. So
you give them extra. You give them that extra because you have a purpose. And
exactly.
And that's how we feel about this platform.
Exactly.
We have a purpose.
Empower.
We have a purpose
to empower our
community.
people.
That's
and
it.
to empower people to look just like us.
That's it.
So this is what we do.
Yes.
So it's not about the money. It's not about any of that. It's about educating and empowering our environment. Another question that I have, and I know everybody want to know, how much is your college? How much is the tuition? How much are these courses?
Yes. So our tuition is $2,500, and I tell you, you will not find any other school at that tuition rate. And I'm glad that you made that statement because for me, it's not about the money. This is what I was instructed to charge. I'm not worried about all the rest of that because he's going to take care of me. So I'm doing what I need to do to help those that needs to come through.
Speak on it.
Okay, so and that's what we're doing here. Right now at this time, we are not offering financial aid. However, that's another one that he's working on for us. Yes. And so, and we are looking forward to being nationally accredited. And once our accreditation is final, we will be able to offer Title IV funding, federal financial aid for people to come to our school as well. So just keep praying with us, and we know that it will come to pass, and we're going to.
But see, they don't even know that you are the only black woman that has 100% ownership.
Yes.
In your business.
Yes.
Facts.
In your medical coding business, there's no one like you.
No.
Facts.
I have the only all-medical coding school in the state of Arkansas.
Ooh, y'all heard that on EME. Empower my environment.
I got a question. I want to rewind this for 1 second. You said if somebody don't pass, do you get a second chance? I mean, are you paid against?
Yes. So with our tuition, our students automatically receive 2 opportunities to take the exam.
Wow.
So and I work with them, even personally. I work with them as a class, but I go above and beyond because I want my students to be successful. I want them to pass that exam so they can go out and get those jobs. And my thing is, I always tell them, even if they happen to fail it on the second time, don't give up. You do not fail until you give up.
Right.
You keep going. And I've had students that have taken it 3 times and third time's the charm and they passed it, and they're all excited. Oh, I passed. Right. But you didn't give up. Right. And so that's my thing. If you don't give up, I'm not going to give up. I'm going to keep working with you and I'm going to keep trying to help you be successful and pass that exam.
I was doing a little research. You know me, I'm kind of a nerd. So I did a little research, and you have specialty courses too.
Yes.
Could you talk a little bit about your specialty courses?
Yeah, sure. So if you are already a certified coder, because we have some people that are certified coders, and we were talking about the basic salary for a certified coder. Well, if you want to increase your salary even more, you can go after some of these specialty certifications. And so at our school, we offer 2 specialty certifications. We offer this COBGC, which is Certified Obstetrics and Gynecology. So that's women's health, if you want to know what that means. So pregnant women and then women's health. Okay. Yeah, so, and then we also offer the CGIC, which is for gastro. So gastroenterology, that's for like all of the stomach problems, all of that type of stuff. So we offer those 2 certifications, and we are getting ready to add 2 additional certification, specialty certifications as well. One would be evaluation and management, E&Ms. That is a big ball game in the coding industry right now. So for those people that are in the medical field, they know exactly what I mean. But that's evaluation and management, and then we're also looking at adding family practice. So we should have those hopefully added by the end of this year.
That's amazing. Yeah. You guys are how long has this company been going?
We first established in 2017.
What made you choose this coding?
Well, I worked for several hospitals here in the area for many years, and I was always in management roles in those organizations, manager of coding, billing manager, and all this stuff. So I've always worked with training the coders that were on my staff. Also, as I mentioned, the doctors, nurses, other people. So this was something that I always done, and I thought about it, like I enjoy it. Right. I had several people that were in a little class that I took years ago, to become a certified coder. And it was only about 7 of us that passed. And so most of those students started coming to me and asked if I would help them with passing the exam. And so that's really what sparked my interest, because I was like, okay, I was doing it just to be nice like I am and helping people. And I thought about it and I said, well, you know what, I could really do this, on a larger scale. And they were encouraging me. They were like, you're really good at this. We learned from you more than we did from, the person that was teaching us. So, and I thought about it and I said, well, this may be something worth, going into. And so, as time goes on, all of us go through things and face problems and all of this stuff. And so, I got to the point in my life where, I prayed and I said, God, I'm managing people all the time, but I just want some peace and I want to just work for myself and do something for myself, but at the same time, be of service to you.
Right.
And so he implanted this in me. And he tells us that if he put a desire in your heart, he's going to bring it to pass.
He is.
And so he put that desire in my heart to help people in this capacity. And so he birthed it.
And one thing we say in business, well, EME, definitely, we learned this in business school at Arkansas Baptist College, was that there's 2 things that make a business amazing. To be able to make money, but that's not the first thing.
Right.
But to help people.
Yes.
If you can help people and make money, you got an amazing business.
Win-win. That's it.
Because that's what God wants us to do. He wants us to help others as well as help ourselves.
That's right.
And as we help ourselves, we help others.
That's right.
To be a blessing.
So like exactly what he just said.
Right.
Blessed to be a blessing.
That's it.
And a business, any business that help others first, and then it turns it into a profit.
Right.
Because the money gonna come.
It's gonna come.
Yeah,
Right.
it's gonna come.
Right.
That's in business.
It's just where your heart at.
It's where
you're doing it the right way.
Push it. It's where you push your passion and your purpose.
Right.
And we see you guys passionate.
Work ethic.
Right. Exactly. And it's more so, this is not like a job to me. So this is something that I enjoy to do.
It's your passion.
It's my passion. So, it's not oh my gosh, I have to get up today and go to work and all that. I enjoy this.
Right.
Every semester when I have a new class come in, I'm just so excited, and I've been taught, other classes already the whole year, but it doesn't matter because each class is a new group of people, a new set of students that God has sent to me for me to help and to, to teach and to pass on what he's given me. And I believe that, I believe that God gives us the wisdom and knowledge not to hold to ourselves, but to pass it on and to share that gift with others. And so and I truly believe that. And so that's what I try to do is to pour into my students and to help them become, better at what they're trying to accomplish in their life, whether it be, in medical coding or something else.
Right. Just in life, period.
Just in life.
How your semesters run? How the classes run? You said semesters.
Yes. So we have 2 semesters. We have a spring semester, and that runs from January through May, and then we have a fall semester, and it starts late August, 1st of September, and goes through December.
So you don't do any summer classes?
No. Okay. So we don't do summer.
Okay.
Need to be working.
Yeah, they do need to be working.
Yeah.
And Ms. Williams had to take a break.
Coding, I'm telling you this. I want my people to know, man. Out there, coding is real valuable. Like, you are an important piece to this culture.
Yes, to the culture.
Real talk, Kirk.
Yes.
Real
You know what I'm saying? So, man, you want you to keep that good work up, man.
Well, thank
this
you.
This is a blessing.
I got a question. I was reading and I was like, I was wondering, what does ICD-10? What does that mean?
So ICD-10 is the International Classification of Diseases, 10th revision. So that is going to be the classification for the diagnoses.
Oh.
Okay, so like if your doctor said that you have hypertension.
Right.
Okay, so that code for hypertension is going to come from that classification.
Okay.
Right.
So it's wordplay. It's different wordplay that I might not know because you're into the medical coding. So you understand and I don't understand. So that's why I was wondering what that meant. Because I read it and I was like, is that like a doctor's evaluation or something like that? So I wrote it down. I didn't know what it was. I just saw some numbers and letters.
Right.
So I had to know.
Right. And that's a great question. Because in medical coding, we have 3 different code sets that are used. So the one that I just spoke of, ICD-10, International Classification of Diseases, 10th revision, and then we also have CPT, which is current procedure terminology, and then we also have HCPCS, which is HCPCS, which is Healthcare Common Procedural Code System. So we use all 3 of those classifications to properly code. So, and just to kind of help people, some people don't understand exactly what medical coding is.
I don't.
Because I hear people, and I have to teach my students to unlearn what they've heard out there because there's a lot of misconstrued information. But we hear medical coding and billing lumped together all the time. But they're actually 2 different entities.
Right.
Okay, so I can be a coder and just code. And I can be a biller and just bill. Okay, so they're not the same thing. They do, work from each other, but they're not the same thing. And so with coding, you're learning how to translate the physician's documentation of an encounter, a patient's, your visit. So when you go into that doctor's office to see that doctor, and you're assessed by the medical assistant or the nurse or whomever or whatever, the doctor comes in and he sees you and he tells you, he checks you out, he examines you, he does this and that, and then he tells you, okay, you have, the flu or whatever.
Right.
And so he said, I'm going to prescribe you, whatever medication and send you on your way. And you check out. So once that happens, that's when a coder's job comes in. The doctor is documenting his visit with you. And then once he documents that visit, the coder is then going to translate that documentation into those 3 code sets that I just mentioned. And so we can process that for billing.
Okay.
Then it's going to go to billing. Then somebody's going to put it on a claim form and bill it out to the insurance company.
So he changed the language, basically. It's a different language. Kind of like coding is like a different language that medical personnel talk. That's how they kind of talk to each other?
Well, no, coding is going to be the language of that documentation, so to speak. Okay, so what we're doing in coding
is just the paperwork.
It's
bigger than that, but that's what it is.
it's translating that documentation.
Right.
So if he says
What
to
the
me,
doctor say?
if his note, like say for instance, he said that you had hypertension in his documentation.
Right.
I saw him today. His blood pressure was 150/90.
Correct.
He has hypertension. I'm gonna prescribe him metoprolol.
Right.
That's a blood pressure medication. So I'm going to read that documentation.
It says.
And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that documentation and translate that into codes for him to get reimbursed, because this is how he's going to get paid.
Right.
Okay, because the insurance companies need to see the codes on the claim form. So I'm going to translate that documentation into codes. So for your hypertension, that's a diagnosis. I would code that to I-10. That's the medical code for hypertension. So y'all have learned a code now. So you know an ICD-10 code, okay? So you know an ICD-10 code now. You know I-10. I-10 means hypertension. Okay, that's the code for hypertension.
Okay.
So so I would have translated hypertension into the code of I-10, and then I also would have translated his procedure for that visit. And so when I was just talking about evaluation and management, or E&M, that would have, his office visit is considered an E&M, an evaluation and management visit. So evaluation, right? You came in, you said you was having a headache or whatever. He evaluated you, and then he managed you.
Right.
Okay, by saying, I'm going to prescribe metoprolol for you, and you're going to take this or whatever, and we're going to treat you and see you back in 3 months. So that's what evaluation and management is.
So
that's
instead
an
of
office
saying
visit.
all that, y'all just put it in numbers.
And we're putting it into codes
They know what it means.
so that he can get paid.
And it's a quicker way to move.
Right. And so that's why medical coders are so important to the providers, because we are the reason they get paid.
Right.
Okay. So if we're putting incorrect codes in, that's going to delay their reimbursement, because the insurance company is going to kick that out.
Right.
Okay. If hypertension is I-10 and I coded that as I-25.9 or something, which is cardiovascular heart disease,
Right.
they're going to kick that out.
Well, you know that off the dome.
Yes.
You cold.
I've been doing this for so long.
You super
Yes.
cold.
So,
Real talk.
Man, you like a superhero. You just shooting on
Hey, boy, you ain't real.
I'm looking at you over here. I'm like,
Hey, real talk, man. Hey, I'm telling you.
shooting it out.
So-
I'm like,
I'm
that's why
telling you.
Looking away, I'm like, she's super smart.
Yeah.
The
Real talk.
information is
so
good.
yes, it is.
It
And
is
so
power. Knowledge is
Yeah.
power.
it
There
is.
it is right
It
there.
is.
There
Exactly.
it is right there.
You know
Exactly.
what I'm saying? And to
Right.
understand it, though, you know what I'm saying? Because I
Right.
never understood it. I just hear people in the hospital
Right.
always talking about, man, I need to go to code.
Coding. And I tell you another thing that I always tell people, I want people to know that medical coding, to learn it, it is challenging. Okay.
No cakewalk.
I'm always upfront with my students, and I let them know. Okay. It can be done, but you
Gotta
really
put it in.
have to
Put it to work.
You have to put the work in. You have to listen to what I'm teaching you. You must follow instructions. Because it is a lot. One being understanding the documentation.
Right.
Okay. We're not doctors. We're not doctors. If you lay on this operating table and give me a scalpel and tell me to perform this open heart surgery for you, you better pray that you don't die, because I don't know how to do that. Okay. But I must understand how he's done that.
Right.
Okay. So not a doctor, but I must understand his terminology. I must understand what he's done in order for me to properly code it. So that's the thing. So and that's what can be challenging, trying to understand what he's done,
Right.
and how to understand to apply that to coding, because it's so many different guidelines as well. That comes with each one of these code sets
Right.
that you also have to learn.
Because you're different, like on your body, it's different thing called different money. You know what I'm saying? Like if you tell the doctor you code in that he having back surgery, he really had heart surgery, them two different pays and everything.
It is. And so we're getting into
so you gotta have accuracy.
That's right, and that's the other code set. That's CPT, current procedure terminology, where those procedures come in. And so that's correct. We have to learn each one of those systems and know the codes in those systems to properly, code that. Because like you said, if he performed an open heart surgery and we coded it as a back surgery, that's totally wrong, right? So we have to know those things, and each one comes with their own set of guidelines. So again, it's important that we understand the doctor's documentation. I know you mentioned something earlier about taking steps to the coding. So although we only require our students to have a high school diploma, it's always a plus if they've had some kind of background in medical terminology or anatomy, because those things are going to be so important to medical coding. Okay?
Essential.
We must know anatomy, because if he's talking about something and I don't know what that is, then, if he's talking about the meniscus, and I'm thinking the meniscus is in the arm, that's wrong, that's in the knee. Right. So I need to know where that anatomy part is so that I understand what he's doing. So anatomy and medical terminology is also going to be important, because your doctors are not going to talk in lay terms. They're going to talk in medical terms. So we need to understand that. So if he said, I just completed a chlorocystectomy, well, what is a chlorocystectomy?
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
You know what I'm saying? So, and that's a gallbladder. So gallbladder removal, right? So, but you understand me saying, but you understand when I say a gallbladder is being removed, right? So that's what we would say. But he's gonna document it as a chlorocystectomy, okay? Because that's the medical term. So that's why it's important for us to also understand medical terminology and anatomy.
So coders almost have to be perfect.
Yeah.
No, but I'm saying how important it is.
Right.
It's
essential.
Right. What I'm saying.
Right. It's very essential. Most organizations, and even myself, because I do have a separate entity to my school, I also have a provider services side where I offer billing services to providers. So, and the myself and any of my employees that work for me would have to hold a 95% accuracy and completion in their coding.
That's perfect.
Because, exactly, because it's that important. Because when we're missing codes, that's going to cause a delay in the reimbursement for those providers, and we don't want to do that. Okay, we want those claims to go out the door clean so that they can be reimbursed efficiently, and swiftly, so that they can have a return.
So does that kind of affect who you train, because their rate has to be so high? It's not on the medical school side. That's not that's not an issue. It's when you become certified and go and work for an organization that may have those type of standards. I get it.
And so I know most organizations do require their coders to have, at least a 90 or above, in their accuracy, because again, that's the goal, is to send those claims out the door clean. Right. We want the physicians and providers to be reimbursed without problems. We don't want those denials from the insurance companies and things. So we want to make sure that we send those things out the door. Correct.
It's a lot of jobs in the hospital field you can use to get experience with code. Like I work central.
It is.
It's broad.
I bring like the supplies the doctor needs. So if you're working in there, you pay attention to that. They teach you how to get your accuracy up, especially when the doctor calling for something, because you got to have that. They don't play. You know what I'm saying? When they call for something, you got to bring that supply. So
that's correct.
Getting in the hospital is a good field to get in.
It is.
That ain't gonna medical is forever.
Right.
And it's lucrative.
Right. And it's always a plus, if you have experience in healthcare to come into something like medical coding. Sometimes I do find, though, because unfortunately it is some incorrect methods that are taught also in those healthcare sectors. However, and sometimes I have to teach my students to unlearn those things that they learned that's incorrect, and sometimes that can be a little difficult, but, because we've been doing it like this for 15 years. Well, it's been wrong for 15 years, and I'm gonna teach you right. So, and sometimes it can be a little difficult because, when you're in the habit of doing something, it's hard to break that. And so sometimes coming in fresh without ever being
that's the best
in
way.
it, they learning it the right way, the correct way. So they go out there and do it right versus someone that's been out there doing it wrong for a long time. And then when you try to, change their thinking and teach them, it's hard to break that connection. So, so I always tell people, when you're coming in, even from the healthcare industry, wipe all of that stuff out. Just throw it out the window.
Fresh.
Right. And just focus and learn what we're going to teach you here, because from Williams Professional Coding, you're going to be taught correctly, okay, the right way, because this is my name that y'all going out there with, and I'm going to do, and I get positive feedback all the time. I've had some of the top CEOs and people in some of the hospitals around here. I'm not going to speak on names, but some of the hospitals around, and I wasn't even aware. And they told me, they said, your school name is ringing through our hospitals. They was like, everyone is so excited about your school, and we want to work with you. We want to work with you and do these things, and et cetera. So we have a lot of things in the works. So just stay tuned and be on the lookout, because yes,
Man,
yes,
we
yes,
that's what it's about, empowering our environment, man. Hey, that's what y'all represent. So anything empowering is gonna line up with y'all. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yeah, man, y'all doing wonderful things. Man.
Yes, you got
just having this platform.
Man, y'all keep doing wonderful things, man. Back to back weeks, hey, Jack. Hey, Jack.
Man.
It's code important, dog.
It is. It's very, very important.
Website.
Oh yeah. So right, we have our website is WPCcourses.com. So that stands for Williams Professional Coding Courses. .com, and then you can also follow us on Facebook, and that's at WPC Courses, and we're also Instagram at WPC Courses. So we post all the time on our Facebook and Instagram pages when enrollment opens. It's also on our website as well. We have a lot of information on our website. If you click on the frequently asked questions page, it provides a lot of information there about our semesters, the tuition costs, what all is included, the different classes. All of that information can be found there. My background is also on our website under the instructors page. And I must give a shout out also to Miss Stephanie Jordan. She's our she's one of my other instructors. So she's very it's one of my former students, and see, I like to hire my students. So so I know she's great because she learned from me. So
is that her on your webpage? You have a couple of people on your webpage.
Probably. She may be on there also. I have a lot of people.
Just you and a young lady.
Pac wife. Pac from the Deuce.
Right.
His wife, Stephanie Jordan.
I think that was her on the picture.
It may be. I'm sure she may be on there.
She on the website.
But it's a lot of pictures. We post our students all the time.
But it was a picture with you, and it looked like a teacher. It looked like just you and a young lady. I think that was you and a young lady. And then I got your
now maybe one on there with me and my daughter.
Okay,
that might have been her.
Yeah.
Okay.
What she think about this? Like,
my daughter.
Something you pass down to your kids, to their family?
Yes. So actually, I'm proud. I have our oldest son and his wife actually works for us also.
Wow.
So in director's capacity. So they are working as a school director, so they keep up with all of the business stuff. Because I can't do everything. So
our daughter, she's not in the medical coding, but she got a degree in education, just not medical. So she's going to be an elementary teacher.
That's what's up.
Shout out to her. She graduated from UCA. Got that degree from UCA.
High learning, man.
Yeah, man. We got to keep that education rolling, man.
Learning, man.
That's where it's at. Knowledge is power, like you said. That's the key, man.
I asked because the family part of it, because you married, you got kids, family.
Yeah, man. We've been married 22 years, man. We've been together 27, married 22, man. So, man. That's a blueprint too.
Yeah,
our age, that's another show. You don't see people our age married. You know what I'm saying? 2 decades.
Right. That's another show. Right.
Hey, man, you're on the blueprint, man. How to keep it together, man.
Blueprint, man. You do it right a long time.
Man, I try to do it right, man. I try to do it right, Turk.
Family, important thing in our culture, man.
It is.
That's what I think number one in our
religion.
Definitely.
We represent something as black people. It should be family.
That's it.
I agree.
Hey, that's it.
We show them how to do it.
Yes.
Yeah, that's right.
That is so true.
Kids, husbands, we show them how to do it.
That is so true. That is
facts.
Look, that was ordained by God. Okay, that structure. Him first, husband, wife, kids. Okay, like you said, but that's another. That's another show. But that's true.
It's this show, though.
Yeah, it's a show. Right. Yes, definitely. Yes, definitely.
And our location, we located in the Soho Center. Markham.
Yes.
That's what the school is.
Did you give the address?
So that's at 10515 West Markham Street, and that's in the Soho Center. That's at the corner of Markham and Executive Drive.
Okay. Y'all heard them. Y'all heard who we got here.
Right.
We got Williams Professional Coding.
Come on and get that career, man. We got y'all,
man.
Y'all pay attention.
Change your life.
Right.
It will.
This really is an important career now.
It is.
If it's somebody that's looking for something to do, check it out.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, coding can get you where you ride good, take care of your family.
All that.
You know what I'm saying? Your means will jump up.
Right.
You'll be the new tax bracket.
Yes, definitely. And it's also a career that's in high demand.
Yes.
And then it's also a career that offers you the opportunity to work remotely. So especially now with COVID and things that's going on, a lot of people, are looking for those type of positions. And so with medical coding, most organizations allow those coders to work from home. So that's a great opportunity also to be, from home. So
EME students.
Okay. Welcome. So right. It's a great career field.
This is a game changer.
Yes.
And I didn't even realize it was right under our noses.
Yes.
I knew it there.
I knew it.
I didn't.
I smelled that code.
Yes.
That's why I had to mention it, because a lot of people don't know.
Right. And we're proud to say that, we were the 2019
emerging
business of the year, Black owned emerging business of the year from the Little Rock Chamber. So we're excited about that, and shout out to the Little Rock Chamber and all that they do, for us. And then I would like to mention too, I can't do this without mentioning my beloved, wonderful sisters Soros of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, Beta Pi Omega chapter. They also recognized me in one of our programs, founders programs, for being the first. And so I'm the first African American female to have 100% ownership in an all medical coded school. So shout out to my chapter, Beta Pi Omega.
And also let them know about the partnerships you have with the state.
Yes, and so I do also have, I am a vendor for the state of Arkansas. So if you visit the Little Rock Workforce Center that's on University in Little Rock, I am also partnership with them. So you can go into their program now. You have to talk to them about their requirements for their programs, their career programs, but they will pay for the students' tuition to attend my school. Also, other state organizations such as Arkansas Rehabilitation Services and any of those other state organizations that provide pay for training for their participants, we are a vendor for the state of Arkansas. So you can also utilize those places for resources if you need help with paying for your tuition.
Can felons code?
Sure. I encourage and want the guys. Yes. Yeah.
I'm gonna send them your way.
Yes, send them. Come, please, come. And I would also say that if tuition, if students are not able to pay, the $2,500 up front, we do also offer installment plans because again, I'm here to help.
Right.
So, and I know everyone probably doesn't have $2,500 laying around.
Right.
Right. Exactly, especially if you're trying to come up and have a better career. So I do work with our students, and we do installment plans so that students can, afford to come.
And ain't no other school or institution doing that.
Exactly.
Put that on record.
Right. Because again, our goal is to help. Our goal is to help our students. We want you to be successful. Right. So, and if God send you, we're going to do what we can to help you.
Okay. Man, this is an amazing interview.
Yeah.
I felt so
so much power.
Yeah, I didn't know nothing. So I feel like I'm learning, and I love learning.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what I love doing. I love soaking up stuff.
That's it, sponge.
Man, y'all soak me.
Yeah. And we appreciate y'all having us, man.
Thank you guys so much.
Appreciate this, man.
We appreciate y'all, man.
We're going to end this thing.
Well, thank you guys so much.
We appreciate y'all, man.
Appreciate you all.
Again, and we look forward to doing amazing business with y'all.
Oh, yes, definitely.
We got a program we finna put together too with you.
Okay, wow. Well, we look forward. Yes, well, we look forward to it. Look forward to it.
So we got some things we want to get up in our neighborhood. Ward 1, we got a little partnership with the state too, also to create some programs in our neighborhood, which can help down in Ward 1 in the South End. Definitely. So this is something that's family friendly. That we out here struggling and looking for jobs. We can help you get into this class, help you get the money to get in this class, and change your life. Because working and actually getting into a new tax bracket, it helped change my life.
Exactly.
That's real.
Exactly. That's right.
I didn't want to do the same things no more. I want to go home, go to sleep, wake up, man, let me get in here, go get this money. Get this work so I can take care of my family.
That's it.
We got more to lose.
So this is a game changer to our city, man, and our ward. So I want them to pay real good attention, man. And thank y'all for
Thank y'all so much for having us. We appreciate you guys.
Don't eat
man.
Tuesday.
See y'all next Tuesday. Woo, woo.